So I'll tell you, I liked listening to the podcast a lot more when I wasn't in it.
That's funny. He can listen after it's published.
So you lost all year's worth of fun
Shane,
money?
don't answer that question.
Joe, you got to realize you're 2 seconds behind everybody else. I already answered it.
So those were in the budget, Mick?
I guess so, yeah.
See how it works, Frank?
Are the kids what?
Helping you?
No, I've made so many kids.
This is a sarcastic face.
That's good.
Frank, what's your racial slur against Shane? I want to hear it.
I don't.
I won't put it in the podcast, but what would you choose if you had to choose a racial slur for Shane? What would you choose? I know
what is instigating this.
So I had this thought the other day.
What I would use.
So
Every time Kurt goes, I won't put it in the podcast, but say it.
So Kurt says he's not going to put it in the podcast, but he's got this drove of information on all of us.
He's keeping tabs on us all.
That, when Mick runs for president or Joe runs for councilman.
I was going to make a joke in the chat earlier, but I forgot. I was going to joke that Frank always joins us in bed. So what's the difference, whether he feels good or feels bad?
That's a good point, Kurt. We need to talk about jokes because I always write down or I always type out a smart aleck remark. Then I always end up deleting it because I don't want to make you guys mad.
We would never get mad.
I don't know.
I understand. It's
some
hard
of these jokes
to,
are pretty.
No,
pretty bad.
Do you think Joe ever types out a funny response and then changes his mind? Probably. Or does he always hit enter?
No, he hits enter.
Let's ask him. Let's ask him right now, Kurt. Ask him the question.
Hey, Joe. Frank was just saying that he censors himself in the chat. Sometimes he types out a smart aleck reply or a joke, funny reply, and then he changes his mind and then he deletes it before he hits enter. Do you ever do that?
No.
You need to censor me. Can you do that?
Because Mick can't censor himself.
Right.
There's so many great one-liners I just want to throw out there, but I'm like, I don't
Frank,
know what kind of mood.
Why don't you try this? Why don't you say the joke or the punchline, but put a little smiley face at the end? That way, nobody can take offense to it because it'll be obvious that it's a joke. I can understand the sentiment that when you're writing, a chat or a text or an email, sarcasm doesn't come through well.
They need a sarcasm emoji.
That's why the emojis were invented, so that you could put like a smiley face with the colon and the dash and the parenthesis. That's why that was invented. All right, Mick, tell listeners what they have just happened upon by turning their radio dial to this channel.
So you have come across a podcast of 5 high school acquaintances, not close friends, but acquaintances. They got really bored about a year ago when COVID hit. And so we all decided to start talking to each other on Mondays through Zoom. And it's kind of flowered into something that we still do every Monday. But now it's a podcast that Kurt just so graciously puts together edits for us every week. And we listen to it and then we approve it. And then we have fun listening and laughing to it. And we all hope that you enjoy this very much.
Joe fell asleep during your intro.
That was great, Mick.
Good. That was good.
It was my idea. I commented saying that we're so funny that we could go viral, that we should.
I remember one
of you guys poo-pooed it, and then Kurt comes along, hey, we should do a podcast. And everybody thinks it's the greatest idea in the world.
It was when it was my idea.
Exactly.
No, the great thing about that is that more than one of us had the idea, like almost simultaneously. I had written it down. I had typed it into a Word document, literally. I never showed you this, but I have the file if you want to see it, and I can show you the date.
Okay, I think we should compare that date to.
We will do that offline.
Okay.
Because I think this is way too boring to put in the podcast. But I think it's great that we both had the idea separately to do this. So Mick, after introductions, do you want us to say something particular about ourselves today? Like what color underwear we're wearing or what our
I'm
We can
favorite?
say how cold it is outside because that's relevant to me.
Okay, you start, Mick.
Hey, it's Mick. I live in a southern state where it doesn't normally get cold. And tonight it's supposed to be the 4th lowest temperature ever recorded in Texas at 4 degrees.
That's cold for Texas.
Yeah.
Frank?
So my name is Frank, and we are going to be 1 degree cooler than you are at 3 degrees.
What's the wind chill though?
So like the wind chill's been under -0 for like 4 days, I think.
-0, not +0, but -0.
-0.
17.
So it's -10 is the wind chill right now.
That's cold.
So my name's Shane. I live in the same state as Frankie, and right now mine is 0 degrees, and it feels like -17 where I'm at. And why do
Wow.
we live in a state that is this cold?
I don't know. We need to move.
That's
You guys
Seriously.
can't. You love the politics in Illinois.
Yeah, that's what we love.
Yeah, that's why we stay.
Yeah, well, I moved away and came back, moved away and came back, so I keep coming back. So apparently, I'm kind of dumb.
Yeah. Absolute idiot.
I think if I could move right now, I'd move to Tennessee.
It's kind of a nice
I
happy medium.
liked Tennessee.
You got your mountains.
Yeah, they're getting snow right now. They're like crazy, and they can't handle it either. I mean, they don't have any plows or nothing. So,
Tennessee's nice.
Joe, go ahead.
I live out here in the Pacific Northwest. It's 45 degrees. That's pretty normal for this time of year.
But you got snow.
You had like
Well,
6 inches of
that-
snow on your
yeah.
driveway the other day.
Yeah, and that happens once, maybe twice a year. But today it rained and half the snow was gone. Yeah, I've lived here 25 years and I cannot remember it ever getting into the teens.
You would
You
think
know,
that
it's-
happened more often.
But you had enough snow on your driveway that you could go out and snowplow it with your snowplow.
Overalls.
You're getting your money out of your snowplow, and you're
I
getting your
got-
money out of your bib
I-
overalls.
I bought that snowblower for myself for Christmas. Had my kids wrap it up and
This
give it to me
year?
as a Christmas present.
Just 2 months ago, Christmas.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Can we get an introduction from Kurt? I want to see how much snow he got.
So, I'm Kurt. I grew up in the Midwest, but I've been living in Florida for about 30 years now. And it's 71 out there right now. Our high earlier,
Jeez.
that's nothing. Our high earlier was 85. It was a hot day out there, sunny and hot.
Way to rub it in.
So all the snow melted?
All the snow melted. Our low tonight's going to be 65.
Dang.
That's just too hot. I don't know how you can live there.
It's tough.
So when I was in Arizona, we went to a place called Mount Lemmon, and it has the southernmost ski resort in the United States. So we started going up the mountain. It was 72 degrees in Arizona in Tucson. We got to the top of the mountain. It was 34.
Joe, is that a dumpster fire T-shirt you're wearing? I'm fine. Everything's fine. We're all fine. 20 miles in 20 days. 2020 dumpster fire challenge. 20 miles in 20 days.
I
Okay.
didn't do it. I did 20 miles in one day.
I was gonna say 20 miles in 20 days isn't that much for a runner.
I ran 3 half marathons in the last 3 days
You're crazy.
In the snow?
on my treadmill.
When Kurt put music to you snow blowing, I laughed out loud. I really did.
That was funny.
Don't even ask for his permission.
That was
Just
very
put
funny.
that
I'd
out
love
there.
to have that on Kurt's YouTube channel.
I can't do it without permission. I'm not.
No, you
He'll
can't.
sue you. He'll sue you.
I don't want to get on Joe's bad side again. I learned from the last time I did something without his permission. It took forever before we were friends again.
Before I'd let him give me another prostate exam.
It's pronounced
Wow.
prostrate.
That's funny.
Did you guys see Mick shoveling his or sweeping his driveway?
Were you just brooming it off, Mick?
Yeah, it was powder.
That's
And I don't have a shovel I don't have a snow shovel.
why would you need one?
I know
Yeah.
Mitch.
The snowblower, the weed blower, whatever, the leaf blower wouldn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work very good.
Too sticky.
it blew off like a quarter inch at the top of it. Then I had to sweep the rest.
So how
Well, I
much
had-
snow did you guys get?
I bet we got about 4 inches.
Wow,
Did you really?
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy for down there.
it
That
is.
is significant.
And Wednesday we're supposed to get some more, but it might be freezing rain. So if that's the case, we're screwed. I mean,
Mick,
it's bad.
that
Yeah,
pile
everybody
up,
needs
that
to-
traffic pile up was nuts.
I hate watching those.
Oh
ridiculous,
my
isn't it?
gosh.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I don't know. That's what happens here.
I was telling Kurt before you got on here, Joe, that I really liked listening to this podcast when I wasn't in it. And I found myself talking to you guys out loud while I had headphones on. And there was a lady sitting next to me, and she goes, "What was that?" And I go, "Nothing. I was talking to myself." I was answering your guys' questions when you said we could go through Frankie's Facebook list and get rid of his friends. I was like, "That's perfect. That's what we should do." And she's like, "What was that?" I go, "Nothing."
You know, there's
Frank-
medication for that, Shane.
I know.
Frank, are we going to do that today? Are we going to scrub your Facebook friends list live on the air?
We could.
You want to share your screen?
So where is share screen? All right, can you see it?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Ooh, dark mode. Frank likes his Facebook dark, like
I
his
do.
men. He likes it.
Wow, that was great. That was good.
No, that's an old airplane film joke. It's an oldie but a goodie.
Get rid of him.
Who?
Get rid
I
of 'em.
wish there was a way to sort by how many friends I have, right? So would be at the top, and then the people, and then this would be at the bottom because he doesn't have any other friends.
Send a picture of himself. Get rid of him.
All right.
So yeah,
I will.
my impression is that if somebody doesn't upload a picture of themselves, then they never use Facebook. So why would you need to be their friend?
I would argue that anyone that shares a Facebook page with their spouse needs to go.
Yes.
Up above, there were two.
Where are they?
Oh, that's my sister. I can't do that.
Okay,
They both do it.
That's funny. Both of your sisters share. So which spouse is in control though? Because when you share an account like that, you're not going to have equal. One of them is going to be doing most of the work.
So I think, the
Frank.
guys didn't want to be on Facebook.
So it's basically
Okay.
your
Quote, unquote.
sisters.
Frank.
Get rid of.
Posts an awful lot.
He does.
Are you friends with him, Shane?
Yeah. I've quit following him because he posts way too much.
Wait,
Who's I don't like him.
That's my cousin. I can't
gotta
get rid
go.
of him.
Hey, Frank, I
Yes,
cut out
Joe.
a whole bunch of my cousins.
Yeah, we
you
got to
can
put
have the
a
football
time
player.
limit on this.
Yes, please.
well,
I'll
How about Joe?
you got a minute. You
No,
got a minute,
Yeah,
Frank.
you can unfriend me. That's fine.
You need to
Well,
edit your
never coming
friends
back,
list.
Frank.
And
It's never coming back. Oh, Frank,
Boom.
it's never coming
I
back.
can't believe you unfriended Joe live on the podcast.
So a lot of these people, Frank, you got to look at it like if I talked to them in the last year, 2 years, 6 months.
Yeah.
That's the way I looked at it.
Hey, so I can give the review of that product that I took a picture of earlier today.
Oh, the guy wipes.
Dude wipes.
Yeah.
Dude wipes.
Yeah.
How are they?
Well, yeah, I've used the regular ones too.
Hold on.
And
Back up. What are they for?
to clean your butt,
Okay.
wipe your
But-
rear end.
But they're made for
That's
men.
what?
So what's different about them?
They're
not-
about
they're
twice the
just
size
wipes.
is the only difference.
They're just bigger.
They're just bigger. So you're buying less of them for
Same amount
same
of money.
price or more.
Now
and you don't need them. It's excess. You don't need them.
okay.
You just
Take
need
his
regular
advice.
baby wipes, right?
Yeah, the
You
regular
don't-
ones.
They're not baby wipes though. You don't go
They're
buy
flushable wipes.
don't go buying
Oh.
baby wipes and flush them down your toilet chain.
No,
You'll
no, I
clog
can't.
your-
I got a septic tank. But you have to think about it, Kurt. When you take a shower, you don't use dry paper towels to wipe off your arms and armpits. And so why do we do that when we wipe our butt? We use dry paper.
I use a dry towel after I shower.
That's to dry off, not to clean yourself.
Okay.
So when you're cleaning yourself after you take a crap, you're using dry paper.
I just use my hand in a.
You do that.
So do
No,
you
I
like
You
it,
know,
Mick?
toilet paper is not a good thing for your rear and dry toilet paper.
Do you use the wet every day, Mick?
No, I don't.
But you've used
Frank.
it enough. You've used it enough to appreciate it more than the dry.
Wait.
Because I've
Maybe
never
this
tried
is
it.
Frank's problem.
What?
Maybe this is Frank's problem. He's been using dry corn leaves.
Corn husk. Corn
Oh
corn
my
cobs.
gosh. No,
It's
the
corn
leaves.
cobs.
The leaves will cut you like a paper cut. Like
Hey. After time, the skin toughens up around there.
oh man,
It does.
I've just gotten
It's just-
flashbacks.
He's just got scar tissue around his anus.
I've just got flashbacks to detasseling and walking through the corn and like getting paper cuts on your arms and your face
Yeah.
from those leaves.
See, that didn't bother me as much as those big yellow spiders that you'd run into.
I don't remember the spiders.
Those
Black and
spiders-
yellow.
sp-
Oh,
the,
I hated
No.
them.
the black
it was
spiders
the-
with the yellow
Yeah.
and orange kind of.
Oh,
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
scary looking.
Who here detasseled corn?
We all did.
Everybody.
All
Yay.
right.
We're
That's
in a
a-
club.
Have any of you outside of Central Illinois tried to explain detasseling corn to people
have.
where you live now?
Yeah, to
doesn't work
Florida.
very well.
Yeah, it's
Nobody
very
has ever heard of it here.
right.
they think you're joking, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For walking beans.
Yep.
Yep.
Walking beans. I did that even more years than I detasseled corn.
And
I only
baling
detest corn
baling
here.
hay.
See,
I never did that.
When you get done baling hay, you can blow your nose, and it's just nothing but black straw coming out of your
Yep.
nose.
Yep.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yep.
great.
It's
Horrible.
nasty. I
Did
blame
you do
it,
I
Kurt?
blame some of my asthma on hay.
Baling, yeah.
the
Because
farmers always gave you beer afterwards.
well, I guess we
I
went to
did
the
it.
right farmer.
No, that's
It's a
not
lot
fun.
of work.
Uh-huh.
It's back-breaking work, and then the stuff
You-
the stuff that becomes airborne is like a dust.
Does anybody remember what they got paid for baling hay though?
Probably a few bucks.
$5
$5
an hour. And it was the minimum wage was like $3. So it was like huge money.
Well, detasseling paid a lot. I
Yeah.
remember detasseling paid good money.
Every kid should go through and have a season or two of detasseling.
Yeah, it's good for you. Toughens you up.
Makes you
I
get up
wasn't
at
very
4 in the
good at it.
morning.
You get up at like 4 a.m, but your day is done like at 2 p.m. or something like that, isn't it?
No, we were done by 10, I think, 9 or 10. Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I'm
was-
you're right. I'm remembering it wrong. It's a morning only
Yeah.
job. As soon as the sun gets high, you're done.
Yeah. It wasn't
I
for me.
remember my sister and I coming home from detasseling and just like crashing in the living room in front of the TV and just taking like a 2-hour nap on the floor because we were just so beat.
See, here's the difference. When I detasseled and we got done, we'd ride our bikes down to the bridge and jump off the bridge, clean off, and
Fun.
our clothes and everything.
I was gonna
That'd be
say,
good.
on the days after it rained, you would like be walking down the rows and your feet were twice as big as normal because they were caked in mud.
Caked.
And I
Yeah.
remember people like literally their shoes coming off in the mud in the middle of a cornfield.
So Frank, when you were growing up, everybody knew you as Frankie. Your parents called you Frankie, your friends called you Frankie, your teachers called you Frankie. At what point in your life did you change your name to Frank and tell everybody to stop calling you Frankie?
Wait, you changed your name?
That's a good question, Kurt. I don't.
Was it after high school? Because
So
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure we all called you Frankie in high school, right? Am I
yeah. I
misremembering?
mean, no, you did, and probably in the military.
Yeah.
Maybe they called me a lot of things in the military.
Frank the Tank.
My nickname was Bull.
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 Nice.
Bull.
Bull
good
from
one.
Night Court. So yeah, I probably, and then maybe in college, Frankie was kind of too immature. Now my buddies call me Frankie.
And their parents. Yeah, most of the town, I'm sure, calls you Frankie because that's how
Yeah.
they.
Okay,
Knew you.
that circles back to the question I had for you the other day about whether still lives there in town, and you acted like you didn't know.
I think he does. I don't.
The
keep up
town
with all
has
these-
what, like 50 houses?
Maybe.
If you don't run
Julie,
into
but-
somebody at the IGA every week, you forget about them.
Go knock
Just
on his
Joe.
door and ask him
I
if he's
know.
happy.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Let's get on the subject about getting me a job.
Shane just got back from a really long vacation, and he's run out of money, so it's time.
Kurt, what do you have for me this week?
I seem to have an idea every week, and then nobody else does.
Hey, Mick, I've had several ideas.
Oh, okay.
NASA engineer?
Oh, come on, Kurt.
Yeah, anybody
realistic.
can do that. Is Frankie frozen?
No, he just fell asleep.
What?
Shane, Shane, you are way more frozen this week than Frankie is.
Frank,
I'm about
Yeah,
ready
I
to fall
got
asleep.
playing a
Frank just
game on
fell asleep.
playing on the computer and on Hulu upstairs.
Okay, Shane, who's the parent in this house, Shane? Kick your son off the game, kick your wife off the Hulu.
Get off the computer game. Get off. They said to.
He's slowing down the internet.
He said, "Shut up, Joe." Sorry, don't make the rules.
You didn't say it to me. He said it to Shane.
He
to
said,
say.
"Tell
He
them to
knows
shut
better than
up."
to come over here and
Tell
say
them
that to me.
Shut up.
Mick has a very entrepreneurial spirit. Mick
Get
always has
that-
really good
that
ideas.
meat.
I would take any job Mick's throwing out here right now if I could.
These are good ideas.
Yeah, Mick's throwing out some good ones.
Yeah, I'm.
You
drawing a
could work
blank.
in the DMV. Just all the fun you could have making, giving people a hard time. in The DMV.
that would be good.
Making them wait,
Yeah.
calling them up,
Turn
and
yet.
then
I didn't call your name.
pretending there's a problem, and then making them go sit back down again for 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
I was talking to my sister. She's a nurse, and she said some of the names she has come up when you try to call a patient. She said I had one the other day. It was LA-A.
Ladasha.
Yeah. She goes, and the lady goes, it's Ladasha.
That sounds like a joke, but there's probably
And
people
then-
out there that did it.
My sister told me that when she was in a nursing school, she had twins that were in her class, and she said their names were, I don't know how to say them, but it was Lemon Jello and Orange Jello.
That was out of
How
a
you-
book. That was in the book Freakonomics.
How do you say it then? Do you remember how she said it?
Lamangelo and Orangelo.
Yeah. My sister told me that. She's a nurse.
Yeah, how would I
She
know
said they
that
were
story
nursing
if I've
students.
never talked to your
I
nurse?
believe
I
ya.
never got invited over to your house. Thank you very much.
No, I believe you. That's why I'm going to ask her now, because she told me that.
This is how rumors get started. Is somebody hears
Yeah.
something and it's not actually real, but then they retell it and they tweak it a little bit and
Real.
it becomes real, and it's all just
Urban legend.
Telephone.
urban myth, urban legend. That's how urban legends get started. Shane, you just tried to propagate an urban legend, and Joe just slammed it right down to the
Bumped it.
ground. He blocked it with a big old body block. Good job, Joe. I think we'll publish that on the podcast. I think that's going to air right there, because we want to keep this we want to keep this stuff from propagating. This is a serious problem in our society. Untruths getting out there and being pretended to be truths.
Unless I was wrong and I heard that from Shane a long time ago, in which case that's
No,
right.
I listen to I listen to Freakonomics podcast, and that totally rings a bell.
I used to listen to that. I got tired of it. He got totally away from the stuff that the books were about.
I don't have time anymore. It's on my queue if I ever have time and I get caught up.
All right, Kurt, you on it and making me tired. Let's look this thing up.
We have a listener mail, guys. It's a repeat listener email. It's my Florida friend Sally, not our high school friend Sally that we all know, but my Florida friend that you have never met. She says, love listening to you guys talk about weight loss. So funny. Well, let's just let her tell.
Hey guys, this is Sally. I love listening to you guys talk about weight loss. So funny. I inherited a digital scale when I married 3 years ago, and it is brutal. I've gained 15 pounds since the wedding, so I started intermittent fasting in September. You know, right after swimsuit season. It took 15 weeks to start seeing the scale move.
Actually, I'm reading her email as I listen, and it's actually 5 weeks. She was so nervous while she was recording this that she said 15 weeks instead of 5 weeks.
Weeks to start seeing the scale move, but I lost 10 pounds over the next few weeks and then plateaued for the next 2 months, except for the 2 pounds I gained during the holidays. 2 weeks ago, the scale finally started moving again, and I swear the scale has enjoyed tormenting me every step of the way. It likes to tell me I'm a pound down, and then when I've started celebrating in my heart and mind, it pops back up a half pound. It's tough on a regular basis, but when you break a milestone number that ends in 0, then it pops back up. It's heartbreaking. Brutal. Keep up the great work, all of you. And if you could do a better Sally, Kurt, that would be great. I had high hopes of joining the podcast, but now those dreams are smashed. Much like the digital scale if it jerks me around again.
Awesome.
She's a good writer.
Hey, can
We
she
need
write
her
our
in
stuff for
here.
us?
All right. Well, if any of our listeners want to get a hold of us and send us an email about how good we did or how bad we did, or if they'd like to send us an audio of what they think of us, like the last listener, they can reach us at talkaboutdumbstuff@gmail.com. That's all crushed together. No spaces, no commas, no underscores, nothing like that. Talkaboutdumbstuff@gmail.com.
I like that. And I think the listeners
Pretty
should
good.
send the positive listener emails to that
An
email
audio.
address. And the negative, the complaints, I think those should go to Frank's email address.
He's never going to hear this. It's about his email. It's about
This
his
is it.
home address.
This is at the end of the podcast. He'll never hear it.
Give out his home address.
You could just, you don't even need to put last names. You could just put Frank and then his town. And then how many Franks do you think are in his town? There's probably only 2, maybe
Put
not even
Frankie.
that many.
If you put Frankie, it's only
Just
one.
get into it.
Put Frankie and his town. It'll get there.
All right, guys. I'm out of here too. I'll talk to you next week.
Joe, there's a dog pooping behind you on the video. Oh, maybe it wasn't pooping.
She wasn't pooping. She was scratching.
All right. I'll see you guys next week. Bye, Joe.
Hi, guys.
Okay.
Good
well,
meeting, guys.
have a good week. Bye.
Later. See you next time. Thanks for sticking around to the end. We appreciate you listening to our podcast. If you enjoyed it, tell a friend. If you didn't enjoy it, probably best to keep that to yourself. See you later.